Hi everyone, welcome to World of Tanks with stewiejp. I'm Stewie, and this is the Tier 9 Russian heavy tank, the STI. This is my third replay recently in this tank, and it's a tank which I really enjoyed. The grind to Tier 10 is pretty good when you're driving a tank like this. It's got massive frontal armour, not bad speed for a heavy tank, like for a tank which is so heavily armoured, and a pretty punchy gun. You can see on the reload counter it's 11 seconds to reload after a shot, but I think you generally do around about 400 damage a shot, which we'll see pretty soon. In this tank it is easy to bounce any gun you come up against, provided you're angled properly or you hold down. The turret is made out of concrete. It's fantastic, and in a lot of games I've played in this tank I've easily bounced things like the British Tier 10 tank destroyer, the FV215-183, with that massive gun which can do well over 1,000 damage per shot. I've also bounced Tier 10 artillery using the turret of this tank, so it is a very heavily armoured tank, so you can get into very aggressive positions, especially in a lineup like this when you're top tier. Now we're on Serene Coast, and along with a few other people I'm pushing the eastern peninsula flank, and we've already found the M103, so that's someone I need to get rid of. He's a top tier heavy. That's the guy I need to be brawling with. The IS takes a shot. Looks like he either missed or bounced, but we've found 3 of their heavy tanks. 2 of them are top tier, and the other one's the Tiger 2, which is another good all-round heavy tank at tier 8. I'm trying to find myself a position here. I'm a little bit out of position here. My gun depression isn't good enough to get down because of that ridge. I use auto aim, push forward and fire a few shots, but I'm either missing or bouncing them. You can see the IS-3 is trying to flank us around the side, so I'm backing right up to make sure he doesn't do that. And I'm using this little hill here to get a bit of cover, because there are 2 artilleries in this game on the enemy side, and they're probably the only tanks that I really need to worry about who can do significant amounts of damage with one shot. Another unlucky bounce onto the Tiger 2, and looking at the map we've got quite a few enemy tanks there, so I need to make sure I don't lose too much health while I'm dishing out the damage. The good thing about this tank, I've got my crew trained all in repairs. As well as that, I'm carrying a large repair kit and a toolkit as equipment, so you can see when they track me, which happens a bit in this game, the tracks get fixed in a matter of seconds, so you don't need to waste your repair kits fixing your tracks, because your tracks will generally be fixed before the enemy tank has time to reload and put a damaging shot into you. Get a nice shot into the underbelly of that Tiger 2. You can see I've had 2 shots for 950 damage each, so it's not a bad gun. You just need to pull back while you're reloading. 103 wasn't looking at me, he was looking at someone else, so I take the opportunity to put a shot into him, but unfortunately it bounces. And we're only down by 1 tank at this stage. And I bounce the Tiger 2 yet again. So at the start of this game it's not looking I'm doing too well. If some of those shots had have gone in, it probably would have been a little bit different right now. So while that M103 is concentrating on the IS-6, I'll take the opportunity to put one into the side of his turret. You can see I did take a shot, took 2 shots from 2 artilleries. You can see on the damage counter on the bottom left side of the screen, I actually bounced one of them, which was a heat round, and the high explosive took me for 400 damage. That's the only damage I've taken so far. We've pretty much won this flank, so we're pushing forward, and we're comfortably winning this game, 9-6. So because I'm on not full health, but I'm on a high amount of hit points, and I'm top tier, it's time to start pushing forward. Why I go over this mound here, I don't really know. I think I'm looking at the T-44, but one of my teammates takes him out. And at this stage of the game you think, we've pretty much got this game in the bag. We're winning 10-6. A couple of their tank destroyers, artillery, and I think even the KV-4 look like they're camping at their base, but all of our heavies are pushing towards our base, as well as a medium and a light. That medium, our T-44, he'll come into play quite soon, but all of a sudden we've lost a couple of tanks. We've lost our artillery back near our base. We've also lost that T-71 who was pushing forward, probably a little bit early to be pushing forward, bearing in mind that the heavy tanks, myself, the I-6 and the KV-4 are all a little bit slow, so we had to try and catch up to him, and now we're only ahead by one tank. Make that two as I take out the artillery. Always very satisfying to take an artillery out of the game, especially in a tank like the STI, where the artillery are one of the few tanks that can really put damage into you. Now at this stage we're a little bit out of position, and as a result of being out of position, that Tier 9 Waffenträger has taken out our IS-3, and I think he took out our IS-6 as well. I'm keeping an eye on that Waffenträger, but I'm looking for the Rheinmetall Borsig, the Tier 8 baby waffle. Try and get rid of him so he doesn't destroy our KV-4. I'm trying to support him because the KV-4 is on low health. He's a one shot. If anyone needs to take a shot, it needs to be me because I've got the hit points. Put 400 into him. I'm pretty sure he's fired, so I'm going to push forward because I know I can bounce him at this angle if I'm lucky, and I'll get rid of him. But now the Waffenträger has taken out our IS-6 and he's on 5 kills, so he's looking at a top gun. At the moment we're still ahead. It's 13-12. It's myself, the KV-4 who's on very low health, and the T-44 who's coming up, but that enemy T-49's just taken out our KV-4. The T-49's got a very derpy gun. Whether he's firing high explosives or heats, or I'm not sure. I don't have one. But there are some times where some of the ammunition it uses, it seems, he's got a guaranteed penetration every time, or guaranteed splash damage. Now it's even at 13 apiece. Me and the T-44 versus the T-49 and the Waffenträger, who's on a top gun. He's had a great game, camping at the back as Waffenträgers do. I can tell I'm spotted because my sixth sense has gone off. And just seconds ago you can see how good the armour is in this tank, bouncing the Tier 9 Waffenträger. It does have the same gun as the Tier 10 tank destroyer. And you can see they're both going after that T-44, so I'm trying to help him. Unfortunately, this is where, because we're going uphill a little bit, the speed of the STI is really starting to show that it struggles a bit. I just wasn't able to get there in time. To try and help him out and stop him getting killed. I think the Waffenträger just then went behind a building or something as I fired. I wasn't zoomed in, so I couldn't really see, but I thought it's worth a shot. And now it's 2 against 1. And the reason I'm backing into the cap circle here is looking at the direction they were going and the speed they were going. Obviously the T-49's a light tank, so he's got a lot more speed than I do. I had a feeling they might have been going to run to our cap. Now the STI is a good tank, but if it's got a weakness, it's its speed. There's no way in the world I could catch the T-49, so I thought if they're going to do a sneaky cap rush, I'm going to back onto their cap before they're anywhere near ours, to try and force them to come back, to bring the fight back to me, because I got no chance of catching them. And I'm just waiting for that Waffenträger to poke his head around. I could have had a sneaky shot then, but I want to make sure this does a bit of damage. I don't know where the T-49 is. I suspect he's going to come up behind me. In fact, I'd put money on it that he's going to come up behind me, but given the choice, I'm going to give the T-49 my rear. I'm not going to give the Waffenträger my rear. I've still got plenty of hit points, so I can afford to take a few penetrating hits, as long as they don't set me on fire. I know he's just fired, so I can poke around the corner and put a shot into him, and that brings the Waffenträger down to a one-shot kill. Now you can see the T-49's just fired high explosive at me. It only took me for 300 damage, and I've got the health pool to do that. You can see the Waffenträger has fired, so I'm going to chase him around the corner. I've got a chance of catching him if I chase him. T49 is a long reload. Boom, there goes the Waffenträger. Now, I don't know what the T49 is trying to do here, but I'm reloading. I'm happy to give him a shot, but all it does is track me. His speed is a lot quicker than my turnaround, but bang! I get the final shot in for a total of 4,500 damage, which is a pretty good game for a noob like me. Looking at the battle results screen, I'm very happy with my game. You can see I've only damaged 7 different tanks, but I took them for a hell of a lot of damage. 4,500 all up. I got a steel wall and a high caliber medal, first class mastery badge, and a few of the other minor awards. 4,500 was enough for a first class mastery badge. I didn't think it would be, but I think probably 5 or 5,500 might be enough for an ace tanker. I'm not sure. I don't think I've got an ace tanker medal in this tank. I've never had a massive carry game, but I thought this game was worth sharing because it was quite close, especially towards the end. Looking at the second screen of the battle results, you can see 4,569 damage with my 4 kills, including those last 2 at the end, 1,159 base experience, and the Waffenträger, Black Terminal, I think his name might have been. He got the Defender medal for defending the base. Unlucky not to get his top gun, but he did over 4,000 damage as well, and he had a great game, as did the T49, and they were in a platoon. I didn't realise at the time they were in a platoon, so they're obviously talking, obviously saying, I'll take Stewie from the front, you take him from the back, see how that works. But working in between the shots they were firing and keeping an eye on their reload times, especially the Waffenträger, gave me the chance to poke around the corner and take those shots, which damaged him. The Waffenträger is never going to bounce a shot, whereas I was lucky enough to bounce a hell of a lot of shots from not just from those 2, but from the other tanks that I came up across when we were pushing the peninsula. A few other people had some good games too. The IS-6 and the GW Tiger, the artillery on my side, did over 2,000 damage, and a few high damage scores on the enemy side as well. Well played to those players. On to the final battle results page, you can see I fired 18 shots, 15 of them hit and 11 penetrated. That's what gave me 4,500 damage. I received 14 hits. This is the beauty of the STI. I've received 14 hits, only 2 of them penetrated me. That's why I ended up with such low damage at the end of the game. Also, a reasonably profitable game. Bottom line profit of 37,500. You can see if I didn't have a premium account, it would have only been 15. And 1,738 experience, which gave me over 3,500 experience points for my double. And that's why this is one of my last games in the STI, because I've unlocked the IS4, and I'm really looking forward to playing it. I hope you've enjoyed this replay. I certainly enjoyed the game on the day. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, if you want to see your replays on my channel, I will be giving away some golden credits packages once I hit 100 subscribers, so feel free to send in your replays either through YouTube or through the game. Have a good weekend, everyone. Take care. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.